Hey everybody, welcome back to Canadian Seyah, my YouTube channel. And today's topic is a topic of immense, I should say, excitement for me, because it basically is going to be related to one of the most important transitions that I've made in my life, which is moving to Canada. But it's also about comparing two different cities that I have lived in. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to keep watching this vlog till the end, because you're going to love learning about my experience of living in two different cities in two different countries from this particular vlog. Keep tuned. I should say, stay tuned. So one of the things that we will be discussing and looking at in this particular vlog is how was my experience of living in Dubai versus living in Toronto right now, living in Canada. So Dubai versus Canada, Dubai versus Toronto. I'm gonna mix up the cities, but in general, I'm not mixing it up. I'm just trying to share two different environments that I've lived in. And let's have a look at what was my experience, and what were some pros and cons of each particular environment. And you can let me know in the comments what you think of my experience, and if you've had any of those experiences, feel free to share them as well. Okay, so I decided to come outside in the balcony to do this just because the weather is really nice today, and the sun is right there. Yeah, there we go, there's the sun right there. And I wanted to do this vlog standing in my nice balcony and seeing that really nice view. So, okay, the first thing about Dubai, that's the comparison between Dubai versus Canada, Dubai versus Toronto, is the fact that the lifestyle in Dubai is tax-free, okay? And that's one of the things that I really like getting into, because that's the number one reason why people move to Dubai, is to earn tax-free salaries. So in Canada, on the other hand, you're taxed at at different levels. You're taxed at the federal level, you're taxed at the provincial level. So you're taxed in Canada and you pay taxes, and everyone that lives and works in Canada knows about this. So this point, or I should say, this is a pro or an advantage of working and living in Dubai, is that you have a tax-free salary. So that's the number one point of comparison from my experience of Dubai versus Canada. Now the second point that I'd like to compare between Dubai and Canada in terms of my living experience is the fact that you could live all your life in Dubai, but you might not. Well, you probably won't become a citizen unless there's a very few set of circumstances where you can get the citizenship. It's very rare. Whereas in Canada, you can, you are part of this society. You're part of Canada. You are a citizen of Canada or a permanent resident of Canada. You have a future here. You can call yourself Canadian. You can become part of Canadian culture. Whereas in Dubai, everyone sort of maintains their culture. Now, this is probably another point for Dubai, is that you have a lot of different nationalities there, which is also the case for Canada. But in general, if you're willing to migrate to Canada and settle and reap the benefits of living in a democratic society like Canada, where you're part of the citizenship process, where you can vote, then that Canada offers that for you. So that's one benefit of being able to migrate to Canada, is that you can actually gain the citizenship of Canada. The third point, that is a point of comparison between Dubai and Canada, is the weather. Now, of course, the weather is really nice here today, but this is not always the case in Canada. Okay, this is definitely not always the case in Canada. It's September, so it's really nice, whereas in Dubai, it's really hot right now. in general, the weather in Dubai, you have the extreme hot or the good weather, whereas in Canada it's extreme cold, and then you have good weather or summer. But I think this point it goes in favor of Dubai. Is that in Dubai generally you have much better weather and much milder weather, especially during the 6 months when it's not summer. So if you're looking for a tropical sort of a climate, then Dubai is the place for you. Now, that doesn't mean that some people would argue and say, hey, Canada is better for me because I prefer the cold weather. So if you prefer the cold weather, then Canada is good for you. But in general, Canada's cold is it's a bit extreme. So for me personally, the weather was the biggest plus point of Dubai. Now, the fourth point that I would like to compare between Dubai and Canada, and that's something that I found was interesting, is that in Dubai, and this is something that I mentioned earlier, in Dubai, everyone maintains their own culture. So you could walk in Dubai in a mall, and it's what they say, every 10 feet you will run into a different nationality in Dubai. This is also the case in Canada. But in Canada, people do adjust to Canadian culture. They accept Canadian culture, so they become Canadian. Some people even maintain their aspects of their culture from where they're from. But in general, in Dubai, everyone strictly maintains their culture because Dubai is more of a place where people come in to improve their lives, earn those tax-free salaries. So that's just one point of comparison between Dubai and Canada as well. One of the things that I found was interesting and that I wanted to talk about in this vlog when I'm comparing Dubai versus Canada is the work-life balance. Now in Dubai, again, it depends upon what company you're working for, what environment. It's not generic. I'm not going to say that this is the case for all the companies out there, but in general, you're expected to work a little bit more in Dubai, right? You can't just do the 8 to 5 thing. You got to put in a lot more effort. And sometimes you might have to work weekends, and this is one of the things about Dubai that I thought was sometimes a bit challenging for me, especially when I needed to maintain a work-life balance. The good side, and this, you could also argue that this is why you make more money in Dubai, is because you're not you're working extra, you're doing more, and you're getting that tax-free salary. You're working in a company that allows you to enjoy those benefits of tax-free salary, so why not work a little bit more? Again, there can be multiple viewpoints about this. And now, what's the situation in Canada? Well, in Canada, you definitely have a better work-life balance. You're not expected to work after certain hours unless it's something that is project related or is something that has been agreed upon, and you might be getting overtime for it, because everyone expects you to enjoy time with your family as well. They expect you to have a good time with your family, do other activities, have a work-life balance as well. So that's one thing where that I think Canada has more of an advantage, is that you have a slightly better work-life balance in Canada as compared to Dubai. Let me know what you think of this point. You might disagree with it, and that's okay. That's cool. That's totally fine. I love different viewpoints, because hey, everyone's lived experience is different, right? Everyone's cultural experience of living in different cities it varies. So let me know what you think of this point in terms of which city has a better work-life balance. Now, the one thing for me that I found was quite an important aspect is that being able to migrate to Canada and being able to live in Dubai, there's obviously certain benefits of both cities. It really depends upon what you're looking for. I was looking for a country and a city where I could grow with my family, grow older, establish. Work and live in an environment where I can be part of the society itself, where I don't have to necessarily leave. And that's one thing about Dubai, is that you generally are living there on a visa. So when your visa ends, you can have different options. You can get a different visa, you can go on to a different visa, you can, there's a lot of different new options coming out. There's permanent resident visa options coming out in Dubai, but it's still not the same as a permanent residency, I would say. There's lots of updates going on. You can get a lot of 10-year residence visas or long-term residence visas in Dubai. So things are changing, which is good. But for now, Dubai still does not offer you the chance to live, to get the citizenship. So for me, this is a plus point of Canada, is that I can actually gain citizenship here, be part of the system, like I said before, and make this country my home, and never worry about whether I'm going to lose a job and what happens to the status of my personal resident status if I lose a job in Canada. I can always just get a new job in Canada. So in Dubai, when you lose your job, you have to change your status. You have to either leave the country in 30 days or find a new job or adjust your status. So those are some of the points. Now, again, these are my experiences. I hope you can share in the comments what are your experiences when you were living in different countries. And you can share, it doesn't have to be Dubai versus Canada, right? It can be any city in the world. So make sure to share your experiences of what it was like living in different cities or corners of the world. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. I hope everyone enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this vlog. Until next time, bye-bye from Canadian Seyah. I'm gonna go back in and, oh wow, don't want to go back in. Look at that nice weather. Just don't want to go back in. But I'm gonna go back in and yeah, and do my things. Until next time, remember what I always say, make sure to keep on trekking.